So let's move on then to the structure of the venture financing system in China, and then to the unique slot that you guys play because of the deficiencies in other aspects, or the shortages in other aspects of the system. So I remember a remark you once made about money as ammunition, and that seems to me a very appropriate thought in China. But if you could just outline the nature of venture financing in China, and then down to where you guys fit in that.
Sure. So the vast majority of VC is renminbi, and legally it's reserved for local companies. And most Chinese VCs and investors and angels, the vast majority actually will not invest in international entrepreneurs in China, because they believe, and somewhat rightly so, that international entrepreneurs will have a difficult to impossible time succeeding here. So you can say there's unlimited money, and definitely the big companies use money as a weapon, as ammunition to grow very big as quickly as possible. But that money is not available to an international entrepreneur coming in, or a cross-border business. Now things have changed a bit. China in 2017 invested $5-6 billion in U.S. tech startups. That door is sort of closed now. There's a lot less Chinese investment happening in the U.S., especially around the internet and tech. And some of that money is actually going to Southeast Asia and South Asia. But they're going to internet leaders in Southeast Asia, South Asia. They're not necessarily going into companies that have a China angle from Southeast Asia or South Asia. Most entrepreneurs who are international but operating in China, they have to, they don't benefit from that surplus of capital. So it's almost like, the old days before there were tons of VCs and unlimited money, where you have to actually build a business. And then once you build a business and you are doing pretty well, then somebody gives you money. So the problem with venture capital is it's mostly capital traditionally, and not so much venture. And that still applies to international entrepreneurs in China, where you have to be much further along in terms of stage before you can attract capital than, say, a local entrepreneur. But that actually gets rid of a lot of the tier 2, tier 3 entrepreneurs. It's difficult, and it's super competitive. And plus there isn't a lot of free capital lying around. So the companies that can actually navigate and break through are pretty battle hardened. And so we've got some companies that are quite successful. Now they're not the typical Chinese companies that it's like, okay, I get a product and I blow $100 million on user acquisition and try and get 50, 100 million users, and then worry about making a revenue later, which was the traditional kind of Chinese way. The international companies are kind of more going more niche, as we discussed earlier.